Hi, it's Kai and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about 3 different Faux Freckle products, different formulations, different packaging types, and how I like to apply each of these for the most natural type of faux freckle look. I've been doing faux freckles since 2019, I think, late 2019, early 2020, and I've tried a whole bunch of different products, both non-dedicated freckle products and dedicated freckle products like these, and I just wanted to show kind of the 3 basic types of freckle products and how each of them work and how they can best work for you, and just to make sure that you don't hit any of the pitfalls that I have with trying to do faux freckles and then feeling like you don't love the way that they look. So anyway, stay tuned if you want to see how to use these. The 3 freckle products that I have specifically are the Makeup Revolution Freckle Pen, which is a like felt tip type of freckle pen, so almost more of like an eyeliner type of packaging. And then there is the Freckles from Pseudo Labs, which is one of the faux freckle products that has, ooh, got a little in my hand, but it has this little pick in the top, and then the faux freckle product or part of the applicator is this brush that you use. And again, I demonstrate all of this. I just wanted to do a quick overview before we jumped into that. And then lastly, probably one of the most popular ones is Freck. I get the Freck XL. This is the one that I've had for the longest and have been using the longest. And again, I really like it. It's what I actually have on my face for my faux freckles today. But anyway, without further ado, let's just hop into this video, and I hope this is helpful if you've been wanting to try faux freckle products and don't know which one is going to work for you, or if you have one of these faux freckle products and you're just trying to figure out how you want to use it, which ways work best for you. So again, without further ado, let's just stop the chatter and actually show you what these look like. When I use Freck, I like to have all of my makeup except for like my setting spray done, like all of my face makeup. And Freck, as you know or probably know, it's one of the ones that has a little well and a brush tip applicator that you just, you know, dip inside and then dot on the face. And the formula of Freck, I find, is the one that is the easiest to kind of stamp out and make multiple freckles with just one pass. Oh, and of course, when I'm talking and not focused, I make one. Also, it's easy to get rid of mistakes. Like, for instance, I was able to just kind of lightly dab that away. Like, the quicker you dab them out, the lighter they are, versus the longer you leave them on, the darker the freckles are. I also really like the tone of this one. Even on my skin tone, it's not too warm and also not too cool toned. I just feel like it's perfect. There is another shade that is deeper for even deeper skin tones, but that one again looks a little bit more, because it's deeper, kind of like, I don't want to say cool toned, but just deeper. I don't know how to explain that, but it's Freck Noir, in case you are wondering. And so I just go in with a bunch of them. Sometimes I go in with like multiple passes to kind of make different lightness of them. And I find that you can make these look really like scattered. You know, they don't necessarily have a super uniform look. My biggest issue, if you can even call it an issue with Freck, is just that once you're starting to get kind of low on Freck, like the stopper almost stops too much of the product. This is a pretty new tube of it. Like, I just opened it earlier this month, so it hasn't had that issue yet. But again, I use this so much and so often that I would almost like the stopper to be a little, like, I just end up taking the stopper out, which can get a little bit messy, but I prefer it to, again, you know, just not being able to get the bottom and like what's around the tube out. So that's my biggest gripe with this. Honestly, my biggest gripe with most Freckle products is the packaging of them. And here is a little close-up of what the Freckles look like. Next is the Makeup Revolution, or actually, yeah, Makeup Revolution. I don't know if it's Makeup Revolution or Revolution Beauty at this point, and there's so many different offshoots, but this is their Freckle pen, and they just have the one shade brown, I believe. And with this one, it's just kind of almost like an eyeliner marker with a felt tip. And when I use this one, I like to have my base makeup on with bronzer, and to put this on before I do blush and highlight, because I feel like it just looks a little bit better underneath a little bit of makeup, especially since this one doesn't really like stamp out. Like, this is a really nice dark pigmented color, but as you see, it's not lightening and like stamping and transferring quite as easily the way that the Freck one does. Like, very, you know, light transfer. So since it does stay a little bit darker, especially since I do a lot of freckles, and if there's one that's particularly dark, I do try to like stamp it out. I have this pimple up here, so we're just gonna make that a mole. That's one of my best tricks, because I have a whole bunch of moles on my face anyway. Like, this is just my natural moles over here. Ooh, that one was very dark. And admittedly, I do like using this pen more when I'm just wanting to make moles or beauty marks around my face than when I'm doing a full like face of faux freckles like this, because it just takes a little bit longer than some of the other faux freckle products I have, and requires a little bit more effort. And I also feel like they look more almost like uniform. Like, it's kind of hard to make them a whole bunch of different sizes and shapes, because you can't stamp them out to get those, you know, more irregular type of, what do you call it, I guess freckles. But this is what they look like. And then again, this is where I'll do my blush. Let's just do Ignite from Phytosurgeons. It's really pretty, kind of like toasted pink. Toasted pink, is that a color? And then highlight just using my ColourPop one that's in my project pan. And as you can see, it definitely has like a more natural, like, looks like actual freckles underneath makeup versus just kind of being stark and being like on top of my face. Because I feel like when I use, again, this freckle pen afterwards, since it is kind of dark, that it will look just a little bit more artificial. Like, it just doesn't look as natural. But yeah, this one's again a good one if you want to do more like moles, or you need something that's a little bit darker and more pigmented. My deeper complected people, this one's definitely dark enough for a lot of complexions. So yeah, that's what this one's looking like. Next we have Freckles from Pseudo Labs. This is shade 02, and these are water resistant faux freckles, and this is more of the technique that you have probably seen be used by like influencers who are not using, I guess, Freckle products, because they'll get something that has a little brush like this, like a brow product or something, and then use a little, what do you call it? This is actually their old packaging where they had the pick separate from the actual Freckles, and this is their, it needs to be shaken up, but their 03 shade, or at least I don't know if they've reformulated or made the shades any different, but this is their 03 shade versus shade 02. So 03 has a little bit almost of an olivey green tinge and it's deeper. 02 is more warm, which is why I personally prefer 02 to shade 03. But when I am like really tan, I'll do this, or sometimes I'll mix the two of them together to give very multi-dimensional, multicolored I guess faux freckles. But with the new Pseudo Labs, and I apologize for this band-aid that is like coming off, but with the newer packaging, the, what do you call it, my hands are a little slick because I put on lotion. It's actually easier if you just do it when it's closed, but the pick is in the top of the product so it stays together, less product, less components, you know. So again, you just take the little brush out, put it upside down, and then you're gonna take the pick and just kind of like flick it across your face. And because of the nature of this Freckle product, it definitely gives a more like spread out, natural, a whole bunch of different like sizes and shapes to the freckles, but you also don't have as much precision with it. And of course you can make like a lot, a little, let me get a little closer. And then what I'll usually go and do is just take what's left over on the, what is this called? The stick. And I'll go and make some like bigger freckles around. And similarly to Freck, I like using the Pseudo Labs one before I do setting spray, just because this one you can kind of stamp out. And as you see, it definitely gives more of that like sun-kissed, been out in the, again, summer or sun all summer type of freckled look. And of course you can do it all over your face or even on your body and stuff. I don't know if you can see it, but part of my issue with this product, and it's not really an issue, is that you can, when you're like splattering it or flicking it on your face, it'll like flick on your neck and sometimes on your shirts and stuff. And with a shirt like this, it's not really noticeable, right? So it's not that big of a deal. But with my more delicate shirts, light colored shirts, things like that, it can be a little bit more noticeable. So I find myself using this more often when I am not wearing fabrics like that, or like light colors and stuff, or I'm wearing a fabric that, you know, is not going to show this color that much, but it doesn't stain the clothes. It will definitely wash out in just like a regular wash, so you don't have to be worried about it for that reason. But I really do like this one as well. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I have been wearing more colorful and light colored clothes even, I would probably use this equally as much as I use Freck. I honestly feel like I just use Freck because I don't have to worry about being delicate with my clothes. But obviously if you do your makeup before you put on your clothes, or like you have a little robe or something, those are also options. Or like getting a little towel to put around you while you're doing your makeup, those are also options if you find it flicking like on your skin or on your clothing as well. But again, I do really like the way that they look. I like that they have that more like spread out, very natural appearance. And then I just do setting spray and the rest of my makeup on top of that. So that's everything for today. If you have any questions about any of these faux freckle products, please let me know. I'm definitely going to like answer questions about them, or can do even more demonstrations if necessary. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are safe and healthy wherever you are when you're watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.